This is not the body or the board where we say great job department every day and every week. This is the body where we deal with police abuse, police accountability, police reform issues.
That was Commissioner Willie Burton at last week's meeting of the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners. He was complaining that Chief James White is not doing enough to hold rogue officers accountable.
And yet, when given the chance to take away the pay of an officer recently charged with 2 felonies, the board voted overwhelmingly not to.
Well, tonight, 7 investigator Ross Jones is trying to understand why, and he is revealing video of the officer's alleged crimes too. We do want to warn you, the content is disturbing.
Who was you just beating up?
Nobody.
It is video that's difficult to watch that last month led to felony charges against a Detroit police officer.
It don't hurt that bad.
In uniform is Officer Caleb Williams, aiming his department-issued high-voltage taser at his 10-year-old nephew. It might sound like he's firing it. He's actually arcing the taser. It creates an electric current between the 2 probes and is meant to warn or intimidate a target.
It clearly instilled fear into the 10-year-old.
The video was shot by a family member who alerted Detroit police. And last month, Wayne County's prosecutor charged Williams with child abuse in the 2nd degree and felonious assault. Chief James White suspended him immediately and said Williams' behavior was so egregious he wanted to take his pay too. But to do it, the chief would need the approval of the Board of Police Commissioners, who overwhelmingly voted
No.
Of the 9 board members present that day, only 2 voted to take Officer Williams' pay. Commissioners Jesus Hernandez
It just was very concerning.
and Willie Bell.
He could have misfired and hit that child.
So for the 7 others, we wanted to understand why. Commissioner Cedric Banks voted not to suspend the officer's pay.
I did.
You did.
I would have to look at, I can't really recall the case.
Commissioner Willie Burton abstained, which counted as a no vote.
Were you bothered by what you saw in that video? It's not a trick question.
The board is.
I get it, but
late for this.
understood. But were you bothered by what you saw in this video?
And Commissioner Linda Bernard voted no, too.
I don't remember that there was any malice or intent to hurt or intent to do anything wrongful to the child. Matter of fact, people were laughing.
Well, the boy wasn't laughing. He seemed to be
Yeah, he
screaming.
started crying. I understand that.
Commissioner Bernard said that unless an officer like Williams is convicted in a court of law, it would be inappropriate to take away their salary.
You not only hurt them, you hurt their children, their whole family, their whole life.
But speaking of hurting children, were you okay with what you just saw in that video?
No, I'm not okay with what I just saw in that video. He has to demonstrate whatever it is he was trying to demonstrate to this child without using our equipment.
So you think this was a demonstration?
I think it was. It appeared that way from the video.
What would he have been demonstrating?
The fact that if you do the wrong thing, you obviously can be hurt by it.
Instead of taking the officer's pay, Bernard said he should be placed on administrative duty.
You can take his badge, you can take his gun. He can sit at that desk.
When you're charged with felonies, you cannot serve as a police officer. So there is no desk job for him to do at this time.
Commander Michael McGinnis of DPD's Professional Standards Bureau says regardless of whether Officer Williams is convicted, his conduct is severe enough that he may be terminated anyway. But if that happens, it won't be anytime soon. Tonight, his police powers are suspended, even if his pay isn't.
I unfortunately am not in a position to try to shape the board's decision-making. They are in existence in order to help hold police accountable, and I just would ask that they do that.
Officer Williams' attorney declined to comment on our story or the charges against his client. We did try to reach Commissioners Presley, Smith, and Carter to ask about their votes, but did not hear back. Commissioner Darrell Woods told me by phone he voted against suspending Williams' pay because he's not sure he'll ultimately be convicted of one of those felonies, and because he said he believes he loves his nephew. I don't think anybody really questions whether he loves his nephew. The question is his judgment, and when you aim a taser like that and arc it the way he did repeatedly, I don't think that's in the policy.
And family members must have been disturbed enough because they're the ones who sent in that video, correct?
There was family that was there, family that recorded it and shared it with Detroit police, led to these 2 felony charges. I mean, we're talking pretty serious charges here.
And concerning that the commissioners couldn't really defend their positions at the same time.
Well, and the vote only happened a week before the meeting we were asking them about, so it's not like this was months ago. And that video is hard to forget, but some of them had a hard time remembering it.
Yes. As always, thank you so much, Ross.
You're welcome.